North Korea fired multiple ballistic missiles into the East Sea earlier on this Wednesday, while throwing cold water on South Korea's favorable interpretation of recent remarks by Kim Yo-jong. Our defense correspondent Kim Bo-kyoung has details.
North Korea launched yet another unidentified missile on Wednesday afternoon after having fired several in the morning. According to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the South Korean military detected one unidentified ballistic missile at around 2:20 p.m. fired from the Wonsan area toward the East Sea, flying over 700 kilometers. This comes after the regime fired several ballistic missiles toward the East Sea earlier in the morning. The missiles, assumed to be KN-23, the so-called North Korean version of the Iskander, were launched in the morning from the Wonsan area at around 8:50 a.m. and flew approximately 240 kilometers. The launches on Wednesday came just a day after North Korea fired an unidentified projectile from the Pyongyang area on Tuesday, which reportedly showed signs of problems shortly after launch. The launches on Wednesday came after North Korea rejected the South's optimistic reading of remarks made by Kim Yo-jong on Tuesday night. North Korea's first Vice Foreign Minister Jang Kim-chul dismissed South Korea's interpretation as wishful thinking, saying the message instead calls on Seoul to acknowledge wrongdoing and avoid further engagement. He also stressed that North Korea still considers the South its most hostile state. Kim Yo-jong had described President Lee as having a frank attitude after he expressed regret over drone incursions into the north at Monday's cabinet meeting. She said the North Korea's head of state assessed President Lee as having a frank and broad-minded attitude, while still warning that Seoul should stop what she called reckless provocations against the regime and refrain from any attempt at contact. An expert said such moves were to assert dominance when it comes to peninsula issues.
North Korea appears to acknowledge President Lee Jae-myung's regrets superficially, while secretly advancing its missile capabilities. Coupled with the hostile tone in recent statements by Kim Yo-jong and Jang Kim-chul, this reflects an attempt to assert dominance through action rather than words.
As Pyongyang aims to leverage the Middle East conflict to further solidify its position as a nuclear-armed state, the expert added that the regime would continue with new ballistic missile launches. Meanwhile, in response to the regime's missile launches, Seoul's National Security Office held an emergency meeting in the morning, urging North Korea to halt the missile launches immediately, as they were provocative acts that violated UN Security Council resolutions. Kim Bo-kyoung, Arirang News.